Hey, thanks so much for downloading the latest episode of The Ugly Truth. Producer Dub is sitting in with me today, so we're talking about his inner Sparky Griswold, along with The Mandalorian and our trip to Burbank with our daughter. All of this plus some epic Ugly and awkward moments. Weird Christmas gift edition. Please shop lipandclip.com and amazon.com. You can find our links at uglytruth.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
We're different people. I care not for anyone.
Paula? I'm not bringing
the hose.
any hose. Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is episode 424. Ugh. Yes, it's a producer dub episode.
Woo, woo.
Now's your chance to change the channel.
That's very mean. You do that to me every time.
Stop acting like a baby, Sparky. This is your day. Paula has a multitude of appointments this week, so we really just could not find a place to schedule the Wednesday recording, and so she has graciously stepped aside. So producer Dub, you're sitting in. It's awesome. I always enjoy it.
Me too.
Whenever I'm preparing for us to talk together on an episode, though, I always start filing back on all the shit I said about you in all the other episodes, and I figured this would be the time for hell to come raining down on me if you found offense to anything that I said in the past episodes. But everything is always said in love. It's never meant.
I know.
You know that.
And plus, if it's really bad, I just take it out. But I can't think of any too much that you've said that I've taken out about me. So
I know
I am just. You know,
generally speaking, my sisters think I'm really hard on you, but to them, it's because you're like this beacon of a spouse.
Oh, God.
If
only they knew.
They don't know. They have no idea.
No idea. And also, basis of comparison, right?
So. True. Everything looks great on the other side.
Right.
So it's true. You are a pain in the ass. But, you put your pants on one at a time, just like everybody else.
One leg at a time, people.
One leg? Did I say that?
You said you put your pants on one at a time like I wear multiple pairs of pants, which only happens when I go camping.
So we're not talking about camping today.
Aw.
Now that we've warmed up, it is the most wonderful time of the year for you. You are a huge fan of the season of Christmas. It actually starts pre-Thanksgiving because the weather starts to get a little chilly. Yeah. The, Home Depot is starting to do their Christmas commercials. And then, you see me prepping for the big meal of Thanksgiving. So you get super snuggly and snoodly. And you're just like, I love you so much because I'm making you food. And
it's about that time where eggnog hits the grocery store that it really starts to turn for me.
When the little cartons of Jack Daniel's eggnog are available, you're like, oh, it's time. And, so this is your time.
Yes.
You love it.
I do.
Sparky is in full force.
I am.
And I like it.
The house is looking good this year.
Which is amazing, by the way.
We got 2 trees.
We got 2 trees. We're not the fancy people who have, trees in every room with themes. And, when we have parties, people go, please go into the red room to enjoy your eggnog while we are in the festive room enjoying our plaid tree. We don't do that. It would be hilarious if we did.
We should do a wine bottle tree in the dining room.
No.
Oh.
We could, though. We have enough wine. Can we talk about your Christmas playlists that have been ongoing for the last 25 days?
Well, I was going to ask you about that. You've discussed it on the show.
What's
but
that? You
opened up and allowed me to go Christmas music prior to Black Friday, which is the first time that's ever happened.
I know.
I feel like I was careful not to abuse that. Although when Black Friday hit, now it's feel like it's every day. But prior to that, the window of time that was new, I feel like it wasn't too over the top.
All I was trying to alleviate was this weird bitch mom wall that I had created where no one's allowed to enjoy anything until the day after Thanksgiving. And I because I was a kind of a bitch about it. And so I was like, no, you know what? What am I doing? Why do I care if people want joy in their lives? Who am I to say? Just because I am not someone who relishes the season.
Right.
Whatever. And so when I lifted the rule, I mean, the celebrations in the house were amazing.
Initially,
everybody was
it's not like I was listening to Christmas music every day.
No, it wasn't just you, though. It was everyone. They were like,
that's true.
What is this? What is this? Joy in our home?
Stop it.
warmth? What's happening? So, I mean, there are times when I'll be upstairs and I will hear Nat King Cole at the top raising the rafters of the house when you're doing dishes or whatever you're doing. And I'm like, all right, well, this is what I said would happen and this is fine. This is all right. I'll just stay upstairs and play, whatever.
Yeah, I just like it.
I know you do, and I'm really glad. So because of that, in honor of you, I actually started this in October. I created a Sparky playlist on iHeartRadio, and
Thank you.
It keeps adding. I keep adding it because now that I've got all of your favorites on it, now I'm adding all of my favorites. A lot of country Christmas.
Yeah.
A lot of, like the Ramones and, all of the other rock stuff that's out there. So
The classic from Adam Sandler.
Yes. And Bob and Doug McKenzie and all of that is on there.
One of my favorites.
Yes. I was thinking about posting the playlist as far as
sweet.
So people could see what we listen to when we're getting hammered on your Manhattans. So I'm not sure.
The Great Manhattan. What is that called? Wasn't the nuclear thing called the Manhattan Project?
I thought it was a Muppet movie called The Great Manhattan Caper.
Well, there is, but I believe the building of the nuclear bomb was called the Manhattan Project.
Okay, yeah,
we currently have our own Manhattan Project, which is to find the perfect recipe that we love for Manhattans.
Yes, and more like the Muppets movie.
But
that's fine.
We're
the Great
getting there.
Manhattan Caper is more us than the Manhattan Project.
Got it.
Anyway, moving on. I'm really glad that you're sitting in and that we can kind of talk because this may be the last show before 2020.
Yeah. Well, for me.
Yes, that's what I meant for you. You and I took our daughter and her friend, best friend, to
daughter number 4 practically
Universal Studios for Mackenzie's 24th birthday this last weekend. And I don't know about you, but I'm still kind of tired.
It was a whirlwind trip.
It was, and I do love the whirlwind, exciting adventure way of travel, but I'm not built for it very much, and I don't know why. I'm not a homebody, and I do love travel, but I just need like a minute to recover from the trip.
Sure.
And I haven't gotten a minute. There's no time. I mean, I had appointments like literally 12 hours later and just you jumped right back into work and it's like it never happened. It's really weird when those trips happen.
It's the only way we can fit them in sometimes, though. I mean, short of the full, 1.5 week vacation Hawaii things, everything we do has to be like, look, we've got this window of time where we can jam it in. And
So here's the thing with me and airfare or air travel.
Yeah.
Even though I'm calm and I'm basically spending...
Is that what you think?
Most of my time judging others when I'm on the plane.
It's a good distraction.
Inside, I'm preparing for death at any moment. At any moment.
Is that different from an airplane? Or are you always like that? Airplane more?
Well, when I'm on a plane and I have no exit strategy,
got it.
Then I feel like a caged creature and I feel like, well, if we're going to plummet now, and this is what I do. This is very traditional. So we got on the plane. Mackenzie's in front of us. She likes to sit in front of us so I can touch her little shoulder because she has anxiety when we take off. Mm-hmm. So I was doing that. But in my brain, I went, well, we've taken off. I'm still low enough that I can see car colors when they're driving on the street. Once everything starts to look the same, I say in my brain, well, if we crash now, I won't survive it, and it'll probably be a fairly instant death because there's no oxygen up here, not to the ability where I can breathe as I'm falling. So I'll probably just go ahead and die quickly, and I won't remember anything.
Okay, so wait. So work with me on this. So you're saying that being at 10,000 feet and crashing gives you a greater chance of instant death than being, say, 2,000 feet.
Absolutely. I could survive that.
Gravity is gravity. You're going to hit. Okay.
You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know. So that's what's in the back of my mind through most of the flight. And then when we're coming down, I'm like, all right. And then I think about all the people who would perish if our plane fell right now. So that's what's going through my brain the whole time. And so you're like, it's a 55-minute flight. I'm like, okay, 55 minutes of terror. I can do that. But on top of which, this was a packed flight.
Yeah. On the way there, it was packed.
So we sit down and we're in the back because at Burbank, when we're landing, we can leave from the back.
Yeah, you can exit both
sides.
So
it's no big deal to sit in the back on these planes. And so we're sitting on the back, and it's Southwest Air, which we fly regularly. Of course, never fails. We don't get the pick of the litter when it comes to people who are sharing our row.
Oh, we get the pick of the litter. It's just the bad pick.
So we get and they're
the runt.
Definitely not runts.
Right, the opposite of runt.
Opposite of runt. So
Jesus.
the row in front of us, the two girls, Mackenzie and Alyssa, are sitting there, and they have a woman who's sitting next to them. And I swear, you know that episode of Family Guy when Peter wished he didn't have bones?
Yes.
And he was just kind of like a blob of skin. This woman looked normal until she sat down in her chair, and then suddenly she liquefied, and it was just everywhere. And she, like a lot of people now in this world, no care or concern for others.
None.
Just decided she was the most important person in the row, and she had taken over all the armrests and the floor seats and everything. And so Alyssa was literally hugging Mackenzie the whole time just to get away from this woman who apparently smelled like old cats. Now, you and I were sitting, and
a Calvin Klein fragrance.
This woman comes, and she's like, is the seat taken? And of course, you're a gentleman, and you say no. Now, she looked like a hedgehog. She was not morbidly obese. She was a sturdy plug of a woman. Problem, she was wearing a dress that probably wasn't the most appropriate for travel. It was very, very short, and she was not a model. Her thighs were quite robust.
They were tree stumps.
Yes, and large ones, thick ones. Yeah. They were thick. And so when she sat down...
She wasn't as much of a pain as the woman
that sat
in front of us. But
she wasn't. But it was, I mean, we're talking a scant inch of fabric away from seeing her snatch. And you were trying everything because she was doing the man spread, which she shouldn't have been doing.
Because she had something under her seat.
Right.
So, she couldn't put her feet...
She couldn't sit like a...
Right, she was straddling whatever suitcase or bag she had
quote
under
unquote,
her chair.
she could not sit like a lady.
Whatever.
And so she was man spreading. And so you were desperately trying to not touch her skin, her thigh skin, her dimpled thigh skin. And so I was so like... Why can't we just be well behaved? Why can't everyone just sit in their little area? I mean, human beings in general are disgusting. We're all disgusting. Things come out of every hole in our bodies. We all are it. But when we're all in a same place, can we all just quietly sit like little meek creatures until it's time to exit? And then you can be as gross as you want in your car, in your hotel. I don't give a shit. But when we're all together, can we please? So then it's time to leave, and I'm like, oh, thank God, we're here, we've landed, we've made it, we're not going to die today. So we get out, you and I, and see, here's the problem that I have with traveling with children. When I get into these modes at the airport, it's every man for himself. I give zero fucks about anyone. I'm surviving, and I will just mourn the loss of my loved ones. I'm not waiting. I'm leaving. And so I get up, and I'm out, and I turn and look, and the cat smell lady is not letting our children out.
She has decided that she's going to wait for everybody to get off the plane and just let people pass.
Yes.
And strand our two in the row. And that's not okay. There's an etiquette to deboarding. It's not hard. Like, go in order. Get off your ass and move. I was so pissed.
Oh, yeah. It was
and in
annoying.
fact, I was trying to block. I was asking the people behind to let them out, and the lady wouldn't move. She was literally that moment.
She was folding her hands on her giant belly.
No.
And she's like, oh.
No. We are landed. Doors are open. People are getting stuff out of the overheads. They are getting off the plane, and she's reading. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So that was the thing. I was just like pissed. And
I did not realize it was that rude.
It took, I would say, a good 20 people. But we were a row behind them, and a good 25 people got off the plane before our daughters did. And thankfully, Mackenzie was like, listen, lady, you're moving. We're getting off. We're not waiting because you want to wait. You need to move.
Thank God. Yeah,
anyway, so don't be a dick on the plane because she was.
You know what? If you're listening to this show, you're not a dick on the plane. You are not the people we are addressing. I can already tell. I know it. I can feel it. I can sense it. I know. And if you know someone, have them listen to this segment and go, see, this is who you are. You are the people that everyone hates. So we got off. Get out of there. Get into our Uber. Really nice Uber.
I've learned my lesson.
Yes, we got Uber Black. We got a nice,
pretty much the whole time. Uber Select or Uber Black the whole time. Yeah.
So nice. And then we go to our nice hotel. What's it called? The Amarano?
Hotel Amarano in Burbank.
In Burbank. It is charming.
Yes.
And
it's a
here's
little
the thing.
boutique-y hotel.
I could tell you were nervous because you really wanted me to love the hotel.
I did.
Because you love this hotel so much. Because this
do.
is where you stay when you travel to LA.
For work, yep.
For work. And you're like, I really want you to meet Norman. And I'm
The
like,
bartender.
I will meet
He's the
Norman.
best.
And so we get there. The whole thing's under construction.
I was like, no! They're remodeling the lobby.
We check in. We go through this maze of construction to get to this, I assume is the temporary reception
Of course.
desk.
Of course.
I thought it was the reception desk, but apparently it's not.
That was a room that they converted into.
Okay, so we get in. And of course, the man is glacial. He's glacial. And so I'm just like, I think Daryl oversold this place because this doesn't seem
It
as
was definitely not
charming
normal.
as he said it was. So then you go, oh no. And so on top of everything else, you pull up a flyer and you're like, the bar has been moved? Because the whole point of this hotel is that you are in love with this bartender who is amazing, by the way. And that's all you cared about to show me. You were like, we have to get
It's a
cocktails
cool
with Norman.
like library lounge with a fireplace and all that. So
now here's the thing. I have a personal affinity for Burbank. I love Burbank.
Yeah.
It's old television.
Yep.
It's old TV money. When you go up into the hills where all the old TV producers live, it's like the Fab 40s in Sacramento.
Sure.
It's like anybody who was ever in television in the 50s through the 80s lives there, and they're ancient, but their homes are beautiful, but you would never know it.
Right.
That's what I love about it. They're all very modest looking, but they're not modest. So we get to our room. Rooms are beautiful. Everything's great. You got the girls' own room. Everything was wonderful. We go downstairs. I get to meet the famous Norman.
Norman.
He's exactly what I expected.
Oh, good.
Cocktails were great.
Yeah.
He remembered you, which is so weird to me.
Yeah, well, I was there a lot for a few weeks, so.
Loved the bar.
Yeah.
Everything was great. And luckily for you, this was the last night the bar was open because they're renovating.
Yeah, so they're closing the bar for like 2 months.
Yes, so we actually got it.
On the last
so
night,
happy.
So, yeah, it was good.
Go to dinner. Now, the dinner was unusual. So we pre-gamed at the bar, got into another Uber, and I always wonder, do our Uber drivers think we're weird, or are we normal when we get into the vehicles? Because the three of us, not you sat in the front with him, but the three of us in the back, we were quite chatty.
Yeah.
Yeah? Was
Yeah.
it overboard?
No, not at all. It's normal. Like the Uber driver we had going to the park that day.
Well, that's different.
That was a full-on death conversation, which was absolutely normal, not just for this show, but just normal daily conversation. I looked at her, and I leaned over, and I told him, I go, by the way, this is an absolutely normal conversation for us, so don't even sweat it. He just laughed.
Do you think he sweats it?
No, not at all. They don't care. They get entertained. We'll get higher rider ratings for that kind of stuff.
All I know is that the 1.5 gin and tonics I had before we got to the restaurant led me to go, I really wish I could give you 6 stars, sir. I would.
my God.
And he's like, oh, thank you, ma'am. And I'm all,
was
ma'am,
Except for that, he was great.
5 stars. So
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your family.
So, yeah, dinner was great. The view is beautiful.
Yeah, it was
we
fine.
had some really weird service. And then somehow, I was trying to tell Neil, my hairdresser yesterday, I was telling him about the meal. And I said, it's weird. It's not a high-end place. It's a classic old Burbank place. So it's like it's there
It's
because...
high-end for Burbank.
I suppose.
So
Where everybody goes for Sunday dinner or whatever. And
has
it was
a great
so
view of the valley.
crowded, and it
Yeah.
was crazy. There were 3 Christmas parties going on.
Yeah.
And whenever I went into the bathroom, all the women were really beautiful, and they all spoke Russian. Like, there was
Really?
nobody that spoke English in the bathroom. And I'm like, what are you guys doing in here? But I didn't want to ask because...
It was probably a company that had a lot of Russian workers or something.
You mean like a pimp? Sure.
Oh.
There was a lot.
maybe there were a lot of guys that needed dates
That's what I'm thinking.
for the Christmas party.
Christmas party.
Oh, there you go.
So
See?
anyway, and they were
That's funny.
very beautiful. They were
Would not have thought that.
they looked very pretty. And so I felt like a hedgehog. And I'm like, I can't wait to get out of here. Oh, no. When you're, okay, maybe it doesn't work like this for men in men's rooms, but when you're a woman and you're just like a normal person and you always have 5 pounds to lose and you walk into a room full of women who are 5'9" and weigh 100 pounds and have huge tits and gorgeous hair and look amazing, you feel like a hedgehog and there's no way around it. I am not that confident. I can walk in going, yeah, well, I rock this shit. I'm not Lizzo, okay? I'm an average old person who goes, yeah, I'd never look like you ever when I was in my 20s. But I digress. So The ride home was fine, right? And then Universal Studios.
Yeah,
we go
that
the
was
next
super
day.
fun.
Now, I want to talk about the Uber ride to Universal Studios because it was really kind of early in the morning. And what I realized that we do is we heckle you whenever we can get an opportunity. And so what I really appreciated was one of the girls said...
By heckle, you mean talk about me like I'm not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can't see you.
Yes.
Like a heckler. And so, but we're the heckles. And
Yes.
you're the
hecklers.
poor comedian.
I'm the heckly.
Yeah, and you're the poor comedian that's bombing on stage.
Sure.
So we're sitting in the back, and somebody said, "Is it really true that you want to be cremated?" And I said, "Yes, I already made this very brutally clear." And Mackenzie said, "Well, you always change your mind." I said, "No, not this time. I'm being cremated. I'm being put in a glam urn. I'm going to be placed in Dad's room so that it will ward off the hose that he will absolutely bring into our house."
Okay, I take issue with that word.
The hose?
Nope, not the hose word. The bring word. I almost got into it on Facebook with you.
What?
Like, I'm going to bring the hose, right? First of all, I'm not
gonna
bringing
bring the hose.
any hose. If anything, they're going to come to me. But I'm not bringing
Oh,
any
shit.
hose.
What? Oh, sorry. So sorry.
Like I was like, hey, I don't do that now, and I wouldn't do that then. I can't control it if they come after me. But I'm not bringing any hose to my urn-filled room.
So you think they're just going to be like, excuse me, I heard you have a very large penis and I'd
don't-
like to come in and ride it.
I don't know if they'll
I don't
do
give a
that.
shit about
I'm
your
just
dead
saying-
wife.
I'm just saying I'm not going to do it.
I don't. Okay. All right, Mr. Passive.
I won't
Sorry.
be bringing.
I don't know how she ended up on my dick. It just happened. I didn't bring it. Whatever. So, but the reality is, I said, ladies, listen, here's the thing. Daddy doesn't like being alone. So when I die,
It doesn't matter. I won't be here.
he will have someone fairly quickly, and you're going to have to come to accept it. That's the point. We have.
Can I be the unicorn?
We created a vision of who this woman is. She's going to
we
wear.
did?
Yes. Did you not hear us talk? Kitten heel, lucite heels,
Oh, God, yes.
mostly leopard prints,
It's
red nails,
Animal print only.
jean natte.
None of that is attractive to me. None of it.
You just need a warm body.
No.
Anybody will
No.
snuggle with you, and you'll be fine. You don't think?
What's wrong with you people? No. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm not going first anyway. So.
Okay. Well, I'll survive.
I mean, I am going first. Sorry. I am
You're
going
gonna die first?
Yes. So it'll be a non-issue.
I think they've all agreed that you have to die first because you won't make it if I die
I know.
first.
I feel like we talk about this every time I'm on the show because
We
you talk
don't
about death
actually.
so much.
We don't actually. But now
I'm
we've
going to go back. I can guarantee you this topic has been discussed 90% of the time I'm on the show.
Gina Tay is in your future, babe.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anyway, so on our way back to the airport, it was really funny. We had an incredibly Russian Uber driver. He was a bit reckless. Our Uber driver on our way to the airport was a bit reckless. We almost got hit by a bus.
Could I? Okay, yes. So he pulled out.
like,
he
"I'm
turned
going to
red.
go."
He turned red on a right on a red,
Yes.
which was fine, except that there were cars coming,
Lots of cars.
and including a bus. And we almost made it to the airport, and he almost ran over a guy that was in the crosswalk who
saw
wasn't
that.
supposed to be in the crosswalk
But
at
he
the
did
time.
not slow down.
But he didn't slow down. Here's the thing that tripped me out about this guy.
What?
It was a big Suburban.
Yes.
It had one of those gear shifts that it was a little older Suburban, so it had the shifter was on the wheel. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know if you know. You remember the old
Yes,
school, like it's
yes.
not some button or anything. It was on the wheel.
Yeah.
He had his hand on it almost the whole time he was driving.
Oh my.
And I'm like, this is an automatic.
Does he plan on reversing and getting the hell out of there?
This is my thing. He's driving like a Secret Service agent, right? Like he's got like, where you
Okay.
in the mob, like you need to be able to
That's-
shift gears at
okay.
any point.
So it's funny that you say that because the whole time I did not make eye contact with him.
Right.
But I definitely got the vibe like, this is a made man and this is a side job. He's waiting for the call. And that's what this is because it felt like it. And also, this was not the first Suburban we got into that I thought was for sure bulletproof.
Yeah.
The first one we got into had blacked out windows.
Well, they're pro drivers when you do that, but yeah, it makes
Okay.
sense.
Whatever you say. It certainly didn't feel like a normal Suburban.
I have a question for you. So, related to that. So, when we were driving with this guy, the last guy that took us, well, first of all, he picked us up at the park, and we had to stop at the hotel to get our luggage that they were holding, and then we went to the airport. So, did you at any point during the ride, especially the first half of the ride, say anything to Kenzie about this driver?
No.
Okay. So, we get out. Because Kenzie's going to help me go get the luggage. So Kenzie and I get out. First thing she says to me, she goes, Dad, we got to go quick. Mom does not like this Uber driver. And so I was like, did she say something? She's like, no. I was like, so I was confirming with you. Whatever vibe you were giving off, we all knew that we all made the assumption that there was not happiness with the current Uber driver.
I'm not that person.
Maybe the fact that you weren't chatty at all. Maybe the fact that you were dead silent was her trigger. And my trigger that you were not happy. We just knew.
The thing is with, I don't think he was a bad guy. I thought for sure he was dangerous. Absolutely knew he was dangerous. No, I think he was. I got that sense for sure. In fact, when we got out and he said, okay, so we're going to make a stop at the hotel. And he stood there and he gave you a look and he's like, okay. And then we got in the car and I'm like, all right. So I got in, sat in the back, and I was just sitting there very quietly going, at any moment something could shoot at us, and I would not be surprised at all if we were being tailed. To me, it was more like, don't make eye contact, don't give them attitude, just move about your day. Yep. I have come across men like this in the past where they are up to no good, and up to no good's not even the right word. They are in something that you want nothing to do with.
He definitely has some sort of security experience.
I don't know what it is. All I know is that he is someone
either legit or not legit.
If you did not call him for an Uber ride and he showed up at your door, you did something wrong.
You did something wrong.
And that's the only. And so to me, it's like when you're in situations like that, even as a man, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Get through it and get out. Don't remember anything about him and just move on with your life because you don't want to ever have to ID this guy ever.
He got 4 stars.
Well, now I'd be a little worried.
Which is bad for me.
See, now to me, I would have left him 5.
Yeah.
I would have left him because I don't want to fuck with that ever again.
What are you going to do?
Well, you don't know. That's my point.
Anyway,
that is my point.
Got it.
So you threw a little bit of a temper tantrum when we were on the airplane on our way home.
I did. Well, okay.
See, you're folding your arms. So what happened?
You guys did it wrong. That's what happened. But that's okay.
All right. That's fine. You are the cause of all of this.
No, I am not.
You neglected to check us in.
Yeah, I know.
So there we go.
No, I just checked in really late, so you're way back in line.
We had B 56, 7, and 8. And
I know.
You had what?
31.
Oh, okay.
831.
All right.
Well, I'm an A-lister. I travel a lot, so it's by default. So, because it wasn't full, I got on the plane and saved you seats. I even talked to the operations guy to see if that was going to be okay. He said, no problem. And so even though you were far back, we were going to have rows 8 and 9 because I saved us seats.
Right.
So what do you do? What do you guys decide to do?
Well, we were looking for you in the window because you kept saying, I sent you texts. I told you where I was. I'm like, nobody got anything.
You have a chat from me that says, come in the front. I'm in 8 and 9.
Nobody got anything at the time. And so we foolishly, I thought, and Alyssa said, let's just go in the back. There was like no line to get in the back. So I said, all right, well, we'll go up and we'll make a beeline down the aisle. And of course, I didn't even think about the fact that we're going to be facing a herd of people.
Yeah, they only let you go max halfway, depending on which side you come from.
Well, it wasn't that. It was just I went as far as I could before I was going to start running into people because at Burbank you can load it from the front and the back. And I didn't even see you. I didn't even see you when I was as far as I could get. And so the flight attendant, a dude, he's like, we're just trying to get up there. And the three of us, it was so funny. We said it in unison. He goes, what are you guys doing? And we're like, our dad is up there.
You said it too?
Yeah. All three of us. And we had this look of panic because we knew you were up there somewhere. And then Mackenzie goes, I can see him. He's right there. And he's like, well, you're going to have to take a seat because you can't run through people. And
turns out he was going to let you go after everybody sat down.
We didn't know.
But,
and he never said that. He goes, you know what he said? Teach him a lesson.
Me?
Yes. He goes, teach him a lesson. This is what he gets for trying to get on before you guys.
Dick.
I know.
No wonder. I'm glad I gave him shit now.
You gave him shit?
Yeah, I walked by him. I go, my family's back here. They should have been up there with me.
Oh, well, that's nice. But then he walks away and goes...
Then he got super nice after
that. Then he goes, oh, You didn't want to go up with them? We're like, and I looked at him and said, what do you mean? I'm like, you were an asshole and told us to sit. And we did. And it was terrible. And then, of course, you were so pissed. And I'm like, just stay where you are. It's such a non-issue for me. I'm like, I would have stayed up there. I'm like, see you guys on the flip. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. But, you know, we're different people. I care not for anyone. I just want to get off the plane safely.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between me and you.
Every man for himself.
We made it. Yes, but we all made it together. It all worked out fine, except we were in front of someone who had absolutely no idea how to deplane. And so half the plane was waiting for this one moron.
Just more, you know what? Everybody's got travel stories like this. It happens all the time. People, it's like Sunday drivers. It's like if you know, when you're traveling, if you're not on a commuter flight, you're gonna have issues.
Who's the Magoo? Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk. We always do this little segment called Boy Stuff.
Boy stuff.
When you're on. Really, there's only one main thing we want to talk about, and that is the Star Wars.
Star Wars.
We have Disney Plus now. I'm actually enjoying it far more than I expected. Now, I'm not as big of a Disney fan as you are, but it's kind of the same mentality of Christmas. You know, you really, it's the magical and the spirit of it, and it's really great. And I wish I wasn't so dead inside so that I could be more like this person. I'm just so broken when it comes to joy. It's the abuse. It's the child abuse that did it. It broke my childhood spirit. But I do love seeing you happy, and I do love it when you love Disney and because you have some wonderful memories of Disney stuff.
Well,
and I love
it's not just Disney now, right? It's Disney, Marvel, Pixar, Star Wars.
Whatever.
So that helps.
Just having a childlike love for things as an adult, to me, I think is a bonus. I wish that I had more of it. Yeah. I think people who act like adults and have no fun or think it's dumb, I think they're assholes. They just don't get it. I think it's fun to have that ability to tap into it. Mm-hmm. I think it's neat. So we are watching The Mandalorian together. Yeah. No doubt you love it way more than I do. I do love it. The story is really good. They're only 30-minute episodes. And I love that they're only releasing one a week. I got to tell you, I like the idea of not being able to binge watch the whole season in 2 days, because we would have easily. Yep. So, obviously, Baby Yoda is the thing, and he's so damn cute. Yeah, he's awesome. And if you haven't seen Producer Dub's little edit of The Ugly Truth, there's a really cute scene. It's posted on our Instagram and our Facebook page, Ugly Truth. Look for it. It's really cute.
Yeah, I did a little custom meme.
It was really nice. So, how are you liking The Mandalorian? Are you loving it?
Yeah, it's great.
Do you have any critiques?
No, some episodes are better than others, but they're all good. I mean, you know, it's been great. I really like. This is the first live action TV series that Star Wars has ever done. So to get some of those small doses versus a full feature length movie is cool.
This takes place right after what movie?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay, yep. So
like right after, like 5 years.
Okay, so was Yoda dead?
He's already dead. So
the Yoda that we know from the 70s movies is dead.
Yep.
So is this possible? This is a reincarnation?
It's either same species, different character, different person entirely, or some sort of reincarnation. I don't
like Baby Groot.
Well, actually, it'd be easier to figure out because they do say he's 50. The little baby Yoda is actually 50.
So he could be alive.
So we would have to figure out how much time passed between Yoda dying and how old would he have to be? Because if that was,
there has to be a forum somewhere that someone's figured that out.
I'm sure, but we do know that it's not physically Yoda because Yoda died. So obviously, again, the only options are some sort of reincarnation or just.
So there could be like a Wookiee planet. There is a
Wookiee planet.
I know that. Oh. So there could be a Yoda planet.
Well, one would think.
I am so curious about this. Yeah. And he's so fucking
Everybody's
cute.
Enthralled with the Baby Yoda piece, but I think that the show itself is really good.
No, it's true. But what's interesting, and I read this tweet a while ago, and it said, "I swear to God, if I see a teenage Yoda in the new Star Wars movie, I'm gonna fall over in the theater." Do you think that's a possibility? Now we're going on opening night, December
19th. We're going like the day before. The day before.
What time are we going?
Like 7 or 8, something like
PM?
that. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going to like a midnight. Okay, thank God. I did not want to do the midnight thing. No. It's so tiring, but I'm glad we're going.
We benefit because it opens East Coast time.
Oh.
Like there's so we actually our theaters can start watching it a little earlier than midnight.
I got you. So we are going predictions. I have a couple.
Yep.
Do you have some?
I agree with one of yours.
Can I say it?
Yep.
I think the Millennium Falcon is going to be destroyed.
I agree with that.
I think that Chewbacca is going to die. I'm not sure. I don't know about the new Star Wars characters, but I think that we're getting rid of CP3O and R2-D2.
C3PO, something's going to happen there.
I think he's going to go down with the ship.
Right. I think they're going to do what they did in Solo, which is put the brain of that robot into the thing. I think that that's possible.
And then the ship's
that might be a little too obvious because they actually show it in the teaser. But
yes, that's true.
But I'm excited because it's going to be a roller coaster ride. They're going to tie up every loose end.
I think they're closing the chapter of the old school characters.
The Skywalker is... That's saga
over.
is done. They made it very clear that it will end with this. So whatever's going to happen, that'll be it. There won't be questions and sequels and things like that.
I think I'm going to be legit sad if they do in fact blow up the Millennium Falcon.
Oh no, do you think
it'll be devastating?
Devastating.
I didn't even cry when Han Solo died.
Yeah, it'll be.
But I'm not a big Star Wars guy like you.
That was the Solo thing was more of a shock than most. I think everybody knew Luke would die, but not die because Jedis don't do that, right? They will come back, and so.
Do you think my predictions are obvious? Do you think other people are thinking that?
I don't think the Millennium Falcon thing is terribly obvious, but just knowing that they've already said they're going to tie up a bunch of loose ends that
they
we'll
can't
see.
keep it around. I mean, the only
they
thing
can
that could
because she flies it now, right?
The only thing that could potentially
Rey flies
happen is if it ends up in a junkyard,
which it already did once. So I think they won't do that.
I think it's gonna save something, and it's gonna be the ultimate sacrifice. And I think they're all gonna die.
Yeah, I don't think the new characters will die.
Oh, I bet they do.
I
have yet to know why Finn exists. Could it be the sacrifice? Thank God, and it's over. I mean, he's nice and everything, I'm sure, but I still can't understand why he even has a purpose. So it'll be interesting.
I think we're going to find out.
I hope so. I hope you're right. They're already releasing all the hashtags.
In fact, in one of the trailers, he says, I still don't know my place in all of this.
Well, neither do we. So let's hope we all figure it out. And I'm not even a big Star Wars nerd like you are. I know that this is going to be like, I'm prepared. I'm bringing Kleenex. We will have cocktails after to calm yourself because I have a feeling it's going to be very emotional. And I think that there will be a lot of men your age where this is an emotional closure. Because a lot of men your age, this is from when they were 7.
Yep.
Until now, and it's like a big
right
bookend. And what a privilege to be alive to see that from beginning to end. No other generation will be able to say that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Really, really neat. Okay, so this year, for the first time, we've actually had the ability, and I don't even know why this was the first time, to put lights on the house for Christmas. And you did it.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. Perfect. Sparky did it. You lined them up. I was terrified that you were going to fall.
Oh,
I thought this is going to be like Gremlins.
Actually, this wasn't because I barely had to get on the roof.
Where I'm going to have to tell the children in the future why Christmas is ruined and why we never celebrate Christmas because Dad fell off the roof.
I'm just glad that we'll have a probably 1-story house by the time I'm too old to do this.
Maybe we'll just be so rich we'll pay people to do it.
That's what we did when I was a kid.
You paid people to do it?
Pops absolutely paid people to put Christmas lights because it was a 3-story house on a hill with it was not safe for anyone. And so,
Word, yes.
But yes, they did.
Well, how do you feel about it? Are you proud of your work?
I like it. I like how it worked out.
Were you scared?
No, because most of it was a ladder. I wasn't even on the roof, and then at the top I was on the roof. But it was. I mean, I'm just clipping things on the rain gutter, so it wasn't hard. So, but no, I like it. I like how it turned out. It's classic, and not over the top. It's not like Sparky. It's not 250,000 lights.
Joy to the world.
It is 300 lights, and we'll probably get closer to 4 or 450 when I'm done because I want to keep going across the rim of the house.
It'll be neat. I guess the scary part will be removing them later.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so
the storm was a coming when I was hanging them, so that was like I need to get this done.
I'm really uncomfortable with where we are with Christmas shopping. We've done very little, and I'm freaking out.
Well, here's the thing.
Freaking out.
I agree with you a little bit, except for the fact that everybody's getting 1 or 2 things. I mean, they're old now. We don't need 15 things and late night trips to Toys R Us. That's not necessary.
I know, but I want to do it.
Well,
but we don't really need.
We
they're
just need
all
to
like,
get to step
we want money. money. We want our iPhone.
Exactly.
And
So.
we're moving into it right now. We're going to segue into the Ugly and Awkward Moments of the Week, Awkward Gifts from the Past edition.
Nice.
Now, for me, obviously, I did not grow up with Christmas.
Right.
And so I don't really have that, but I have received awkward gifts, obviously. Paul is notoriously the winner of that, though. When she got married the first time, one of our relatives on our mother's side gifted her a 20-foot long wristwatch. It was to be
a what?
Wristwatch.
Like it was a clock, but in the form of a wristwatch?
Yes, it had plastic. It was plastic wrist.
20 feet?
Yes, it was meant to be hung on the wall. It worked.
20 feet?
Yes, God. From one end to the other. And she pulled it out of the box, and she's like, wow. And, and she was only she was 19. So her face, like, what do I do with this? God. And my mom, of course, she's like, that's from your aunt. She sends her best.
Wow.
She couldn't make it.
Wow.
And so I asked her, I go, Paul, please tell me you hung it up. I mean, come on, you had to hang it up. And she's like, I didn't have a wall big enough. What was I supposed to do with it?
We don't have a wall big enough.
We do.
We have 2-story houses.
We do have the wall big enough. It would have to hang like an entry light, but we could do it.
We would have to hang it from where the chandelier is in the entry.
I shit you not. Okay, maybe it was 12 feet.
Well, whatever. It's
but
still
it was not 20. It was 12. But it was ceiling to floor tall, and it was meant to go on the wall like some funhouse clock. Jesus. I don't know. Where do you get that thing? Awesome. You and I were somewhere, and I was going through. Where did we go? And it was we went to CVS because I was looking for postcards for a friend of mine who wants me to mail a postcard from Sacramento to her class.
Who knew it would be that hard to find postcards anymore?
I can't even fucking believe it. I can't find a goddamn Sacramento postcard. So anyway. I will find one. There were many things for sale in the discount Christmas aisle that I recognize that I received as gifts in Christmas pasts from other relatives who would send things.
Right.
And I went, okay, so this is where they did their shopping. So you got
drugstore gifts when you did.
I did. Now, I appreciate the thought that counts. It's not about the money. But, now at my age, I just don't want shit that I don't use or really... Don't send me the card and I'll say thank you and we'll be done with it.
Right.
You don't have to send me anything.
For me...
Did you have an awkward gift?
Well,
Did you ever get any?
I certainly gave a few.
You gave awkward gifts?
Yeah, I'll explain that in a minute. Probably the only one I would say that I got, I don't even know it specifically, but I definitely recall bunny suit type moments.
Really?
Right? Like I didn't get a bunny suit, but like I had relatives that knitted a lot. So there were definitely sweaters. Oh my God.
I got so many crocheted slippers.
Yes, crochet, that's it.
Here's the thing. And as the oldest, by the way, I always got the ugly colors. I got crocheted slippers almost every year, and they were always green.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely remember that. As far as giving them, though, when I was in elementary school, Secret Santa was a big thing.
Okay.
They had Secret Santa's workshop. And that basically was a store. It was a company that would come in, kind of like the bookstores book places would come in and they do a book fair.
Oh, yeah.
Same kind of thing, except they would come in, set up the store of all these little gifts, and then the parents could send their kids to school with, $10
like
to
the book
spend.
Fair.
Right, it's exactly like the book fair.
That is brilliant.
Except you would go in and buy a gift, and then that way you as a kid got to buy your parents something without them knowing what it was going to be. And it was...
Do they still do that?
I don't know. My mom used to organize them. They were all the time, but it was basically a book fair, but Secret Santa's Workshop is what it was called.
Wow, I love it.
And so kids got to buy, imagine being in like first grade and getting to buy your parents a gift that they had no idea what you were getting,
I really like that idea.
So that was fun. So there were definitely like mugs and odd picture frames and fake plants and, shit like that I'm sure that I purchased that I am also equally sure that my mom has kept even to this day.
Oh, you think she kept them?
The problem with getting my parents' stuff is my mom organized the damn thing. So she knew everything that was in there. So
schoolholidayshop.com.
Yeah, it wasn't that, but that's the idea.
In school holiday shop.
Genius.
Oh, look at
see?
You can buy oven mitts and super dad mugs.
Yeah, see?
Oh, that's so cute. Keychains.
Yeah,
well,
it's a cool thing, but it's but that definitely I've given a few awkward gifts. So, did you find some Uglies?
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I provide to you 3 Ugly and Awkward Moments, Awkward Christmas Gift Edition. one, and it's so bizarre. I don't even know where to begin. So
I don't know how you top the 20-foot watch personally, but go ahead.
Well, that was a personal experience. My uncle presented my family with a very large gourd once.
Gourd like a zucchini?
A squash?
Oh, okay.
Or like a pumpkin? I don't
it.
know. In the middle of a restaurant. No one wanted it, so we left it. Can you imagine? What is that? What is that?
Maybe is there like symbolism? Like, is it?
No.
Does that a large gourd mean you're gonna have a great New Year or something?
I don't know, and I wouldn't want it either. And they go down the table and like, Jamie, do you want this? I'm like, what am I gonna do with the gourd?
I would hand it to the restaurant. I go, hey, cook this up.
Make yourself some gourd soup. Here's the second one. This one's actually really funny. I had mentioned to my uncle one year that I wished I could grow a beard like his.
Beard, okay.
Come Christmas time, my uncle hands me the present he got me. I unwrap it, and what do you know? It's his beard.
Oh, he shaved it
in a Ziploc bag.
Gross.
What?
Funny, but gross.
I'm seeing a theme. Men. These are men who do this to children.
Boys are dumb.
Oh, beyond. They're dogs. One Christmas, I got 18 pairs of socks. I was probably 12, and I tried really hard to look grateful and thank my parents. But with each pair I opened, I got progressively more upset. It didn't help. My brother was tearing through his toys and video games. I ended up excusing myself to go to the bathroom and started crying. My mom came to get me and asked me what was wrong. She said to stop crying and come back to the living room. She then gave me my real gift, a laptop.
Oh, so the socks were a joke.
The reason I got socks was my mom just wanted me to have something to unwrap because my brother had a lot of cheaper stuff where I only had one big thing.
That sounds like something you would do.
I felt incredibly spoiled and embarrassed, but definitely a happy ending.
It's kind of like Christmas Story a little bit. He was not interested in pretty much anything till the final gift.
Till he got his Red Ryder BB gun.
In fact, I think they throw socks over their shoulder
They
or something.
did.
So.
Did I get a tie this year?
Where's that one you told me earlier?
What?
The book that the person got before the show. You had mentioned
it. So there was another one I read. I didn't put it on, but it was funny and kind of sad, actually. He said, he was in high school. For Christmas in high school, my gift was how to cope with being adopted.
And he didn't know
he was adopted.
That's amazing.
And so they told him he was adopted on Christmas Day with a book. How do you do that to somebody is beyond me.
Yeah.
Bad parents is how you do it.
Bad parenting.
The problem that we have with Christmas, and even to this day, when our children decide to procreate, those grandchildren have no idea what they're in for. We're going to be they are going to be like, we love grandma and grandpa, whoever we decide to be, which is another thing. We need to come up with what we're going to be called as grandparents.
I don't want to.
Is there going to be an official, are we going to be the number one grandparents? Do you think?
I would imagine.
Well, we have children who
we're
will
amazing.
I know. We're so good. We are so good. They're going to be like, don't mind Grandma Jamie. She says things she doesn't know. She's not. She does not have dementia, but watch her. Please she doesn't mean it. Okay? That will be her. I don't know. I hope we're good. I hope we're not the ones that no one wants to be around. Grandma smells funny. I don't want to be that one. I don't want to be the one that
I just
smells
want
funny.
some input as to what I'm called. If I want to be called Jedi Daryl instead of Grandpa Joe or whatever, then that's what I want some input on.
What I'm hoping is that what we initially requested will stick, which is Grandma or Grandpa Chips and Grandma Salsa. But apparently that has been vetoed.
The kids do not like chips and salsa.
I even tried to digress and said, what about Grandma Lolly and Grandpa Pop?
We could be Lollipop.
Lolly and Pop. And they said no. And I said, what? And so, of course, now Mackenzie, she's like, you're going
grandmother and grandfather.
We're going to be grandmother and grandfather. And I'm like, those sound terrible. We sound like the kind of grandparents who only have batteries in their fridge and that icky candy that no one wants to eat. I don't want to be that one. I want to be the better ones.
Yeah.
I want to be the better ones. I want to be the one where we have like weird animals in the backyard that they want to go touch, but they're afraid of. You know what I mean? They'll be like, can we go see your sheep? And I'll be like, yes, ghost. Feed them. They'll love you. Man, they're just like, you have that one really mean lamb, Grandma. I'll be like, oh, don't ignore Lolly. She's fine.
That's the Lolly.
That's the grandmother that I want to be.
I don't want to do that yet, but good topic for conversation.
Someday we will be those grandparents.
Yeah.
We'll be the awesome ones. We'll be
I would
we'll be
hope.
like, hey, Junior, do you want to be on our podcast? We're like 80.
It's gonna be
geriatric hour.
It's gonna be like, Mom, Grandpa's gonna make me watch Star Wars again.
It's like, in my day, I saw Star Wars in what we used to call a theater.
God.
Now you just sit on benches with glasses, but back in my day, it was an event. You went, you sat down, you ate popcorn. Popcorn? What? It's going to be a completely different thing.
For sure.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. All right. Well, if you've gotten this far,
Thanks.
thank you. Shoplipandclip.com. We didn't even talk about my hatred of Moncala with you, but that's okay because you're just an arrogant person about it.
I don't know what that has to do with anything. Board games were on the last episode.
I know, but I thought maybe you'd want to talk about it.
Nah, I just
how
kick
you
your
kick
ass
my
all
ass.
the time. It's fine. Oh. Maybe we should end the show now. I want to mention very quickly, Amazon.com.
Yes.
We'll give you links, but definitely go to uglytruth.com/shop.
Mm-hmm.
That allows you to get all the links. Join Prime, don't join Prime, get your last minute gifts. It really does support the show. And, we don't make money here, but at least it offsets some of the costs for doing it. And we really appreciate you remembering us when you go to do the shopping you were going to do anyway. So
yes,
one little
please.
extra click, and even bookmark it. That makes it easier. And then every once in a while you can do it. You know the drill. It's the only way we do anything funding-wise around here, so we appreciate it.
Someday we'll be really famous and you'll be going, God, I really wish I had supported them back in the day. So think of it in that aspect as well.
Right.
And lipandclip.com. I know it's probably not your go-to, but definitely at least peruse, check it out. You'd be amazed what's there. There's
Lots
a lot
of great
of
gift
stuff.
ideas,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like Frozen shit for some reason. They got a contract with Disney, so they have a
right.
ton of stuff for
I was like, they
Frozen
have Frozen
too.
makeup?
No, that's Jeffree Star. But they do have Frozen 2 items, and they're really they're exclusive and they're super cute. So lipandclip.com.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.